Okay, so funded accounts, what are funded accounts? So I actually teach most of my students, especially even in the first session, I talk about this because this is the future of Forex. This is how you can actually be a professional trader. This is how you can trade full time. So a couple of years ago, we never really had this. If you wanted to trade with a firm's money, most people would, go to Wall Street or try to find some proper companies. And I'm pretty sure that as part of the interview process, you would have to bring with you like 18 months of trading data so that they can see all the trades you've done, through different seasonal trades and different news events, and they can see how you performed over 18 months, which is, a very long time. So nowadays, if we had to give a company 18 months of trading data, you can just imagine how difficult that would be and how unrealistic most of us would not be able to do that. So these funded accounts have actually changed the game. And what are they? Okay, so basically there's a few companies. I'm talking about 3 companies now. One of them is called FTMO, the other one is My Forex Fund, and the other one's Funding Talent. Okay, so they're all pretty big, they're all pretty popular. And basically what it is, right, it's a company that allows you to trade with their money. So it allows you to trade with their capital. Okay, now most of us might not have a lot of money to trade with, and probably most of the problem we do have is actually getting capital. So these are easy ways to sort of shorten that process of trying to build up our capital money and to trade with other people's money. So it's like a no-brainer, and it's actually quite simple. So you can trade up to, so for example, like this is Funding Talent. They have a 25k account you can apply for. They've got a 50k, 100k, 200k, and 300k. So they've got real big money that you can apply for. And these are different accounts, okay? Now, all of them have different sort of rules, have different sort of categories, but they're all pretty much the same. Essentially, you have to pass 2 challenges in order to get the account, okay? Now, it all works as a percentage gain. So whenever I teach risk management, I teach it in terms of percentage, 1%, 0.5%. Risk reward, how much, you gain, how much you risk over your reward is always like, 3% gain, 4% on your risk. So we're just talking percentages. Most people are talking pips, so how many pips you made. But because I say percentages, I get your mind ready for these funded challenge. I get your mind ready for professional trading, okay? So Funding Talent, for example. Actually, let's go with My Forex Fund because they have a nicer website. So this is basically their rules, okay? This is the major rules. So rule number 1 is 5% daily drawdown. So throughout the challenge, throughout the account, your account cannot drop below 5% for the day. So if you have if you're trading a 100k account, you can't drop below 5k for any given day. So that's your limit, 5% drawdown limit. And then you have a 12% overall drawdown. So your account cannot be dropped below 12%. Okay, so if you have a 100k account, you can't drop below 88k. Okay, so you lose the account. And what happens if you lose the account? Nothing. You just can't trade with the account anymore. They take the account away from you. You don't lose any money. You just can't trade anymore. So they take the account away. Now, in order to actually get the account, you got to go through 2 challenges. Okay, challenge number 1 is an 8% profit target. So you need to make 8% of profit on your account. So if you're trading with a 100k account, you need to make 8k. With respecting these 2 drawdown limits. Okay, that's phase 1. Phase 2, you need to make 5%. So you need 2 phases of making profit. The first one's 8%, the second one's 5%. So once you make 8%, bang, they put you onto phase 2. Once you make 5%, bang, they put you onto a real account and you can trade with a real account. Now these drawdowns never ever move. They're the same thing on the trial, on the challenges, and the same thing on the real account. But there's just no profit target. So you can make as much money as you want, and there's no profit target. There's a 10-day trading minimum, which means that they don't want you to rush it, they don't want you to gamble it, they don't want you to go all in. They want you to spread your trading across 10 days minimum. So after 10 days, there's a 10-day minimum, which means that you can't pass the challenge unless you have to wait 10 days each phase. So 10 days here, 10 days there minimum, and then you get the account. Now, once you get the account, most companies allow a 1-month payout. So they do monthly payouts, or now they're starting to do bi-weekly, so fortnightly payouts. But you need to wait about a month to get your first payout. And I'm pretty sure My Forex Fund do 80% profit split, so they give you 80% of your profits. Funding Talent do 90% payout on the first 10%, and then 80% on the other ones. And FTMO, I think, do 70-30 from memory. FTMO also have a free trial, which is the exact same model for challenge 1, challenge 2. It's just a demo. You can do it for free, which is a really, really good way to actually master your skills. Because when I teach people, there's sort of a process I teach them through. And in order for them to get to this funding challenge level, I get them to pass a demo account twice. So not once, but twice. And once they've done that, they understand the rules, then we can try to do an actual challenge. So there's a process to go. FTMO do a free trial, which is really, really cool. So I would suggest try that one out if you're really interested in doing funded accounts. Most of the companies are pretty similar. They differ on their challenge percentage. So I think FTMO is 10% to pass phase 1 and 5%. This is 8 and 5. FTMO have a 10% drawdown. They have 12. And these have 10-day minimum. So Funding Talent have no minimum days. Doesn't say here, but there's no minimum days. So the second you pass a challenge, bang, you get the next one the next day. Like you didn't have to wait 10-day minimum. And then they also have different payouts. So like this is 90% for the first 10% of profits and 80% past 10%. And this says, 70%, this says 80%. So they all change in profit targets, they all change in challenges, like the numbers and stuff, but essentially it's all the same. And the best thing about this in the sense that of making a full-time thing is that no matter what happens, if you lose the account, then you don't lose any money. Okay. Now, obviously you have to pay for the challenge, so you got to apply for the challenge. The bigger the account, the bigger the cost for the challenge. So like, I think it's like $800 for 100K, maybe $1,200 for 200K, and essential like that. So basically, if you pass the challenge, then you get that money refunded back to you, which is pretty good. If you don't pass the challenge, then the company takes the money, of course, because you're purchasing the challenge. But that's pretty good. If you pass it, you get the money back, and you're not going to pass it straight away. And that's how they make the money. It's a business model. Essentially they're a broker, which means they make money off every trade you take, but they also make money from trying to apply for challenges. Okay. Now there's a really low percentage of people that pass it, and a really low percentage of people that get their first payout. Okay, because you have to essentially be 2 months consistent profitable in order to get that first payout, and that's hard for some people. So it's a process to actually go as a trader and actually try to achieve these. But if you're wanting to take Forex seriously, you want to make a career out of it, you want to know how the pros do it and how to actually make serious money, this is where it's at. Okay, so if I can make 1-2% a day, on a 10K account, it's not going to do much. $100, $200. On a 100K account, I can make $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, easy, like not even stressing. On a 200K account, 1% is 2K. So I can make 2%. I can make 2K without even stressing. Because these are number games, the bigger account, the bigger the number, but it's also very scalable. So I can jump straight into $1 million account, for example, not that I will, but $1 million account, and I can trade the 1%, 2% risk, and I can still make the same trading plan as I did. I just make more money because I got a bigger account. That's how Forex works. And that's why it's very interesting, because most businesses, it takes a while to grow. But with Forex, you can just jump on a bigger account and do exactly the same thing you were doing and scale up quite quickly, okay? So that's how they really work. I do recommend to do a free trial on FTMO first to work out how it works. My Forex fund's good, Funding Talent's pretty good. This is the future of Forex. And if you really want to get into it, these are the best things to master.